Hi, this is David Newton speaking. Today I'm talking about part number 4 in The Luck Factor. That's this book here, and you've got the links below for the other 3 parts to this particular book and my review of the 4 factors that's involved in creating your own luck. Now, part number 4 is, and this is a main principle, principle number 4: turn your bad luck into good. Lucky people are able to transform their bad luck into good fortune. That's true. They're able to turn the circumstances around and turn them into their favour one way or another. And a lot of it comes to their viewpoint of the world. Essentially, what they're looking at is whatever happens in their life, it's not, they don't see it as the end of the world. They might see it as a temporary setback. They might see it as feedback from what's happening in the marketplace, in the world, in their personal life, and so forth like that. But they don't see it as a major road blockage in itself. And I think that that's a vital thing. Just to read here a little bit more detail here about what Dr. Richard Wiseman says. Um, so far, we've explored the 3 principles that lucky people use to see creating luck in their life is not a complete bed of roses for them. Sometimes even lucky people encounter bad luck and negative events. My research in the way in which how they deal with such ill fortune is revealed in the 4th principle: an uncanny way of transforming their unfortunate circumstances into amazing good luck. And that really is the case. Now, it can be broken down to um, 4 different sub-principles of turning your bad luck into good luck. And let's listen to essentially what those 4 different main principles are. First of all, lucky people see the positive side of their bad luck. They're willing to look at it and say, well, that may be a bad thing now, but, I can probably transform it there in the near future. The second principle is lucky people are convinced that their ill fortune in their life will, in the long run, work out for the better. In other words, they see it as, either a learning experience or something there that they can gain from, or they can say, well, okay, that may be what has happened to me, but I can find a way how to solve and fix that problem. Sub-principle number 3: lucky people do not dwell on their ill fortune. And that's probably one thing that unlucky people definitely do. They'll dwell upon how bad things are, and that will self-perpetuate on the difficulties that they're experiencing in their life because they live that experience to such a degree that they don't see a way out of it, or maybe don't want to see a way out of it. Sub-principle number 4 is also another good one. Lucky people take constructive steps to prevent more bad luck in the future. In other words, they'll take whatever the situation is that they've just been through and they'll say, well, okay, I encountered that the last time I did blah, 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 went out on a date and it didn't work out this well or whatever. But let's look at how I can improve this. Or I bought this business and, that worked out to be a real bummer with this, and that didn't work out well with this, and I had trouble with this, and this, and this. And they'll say, what can I do the next time so that I can make that work out even better and reduce those risks and reduce those problems? They'll take active and constructive steps forward to turn around the situation and say, well, okay, that was interesting feedback. First of all, they don't take it really that bad. They'll accept that they made a loss, but they'll immediately work out a way how to flip the situation and turn it around. Look, I was talking with a friend of mine only just a few days ago about one of the businesses that he had owned that initially worked out quite well for him, but then it drifted into a loss-making situation. And he was wondering, how am I going to sell this business? That was what he was figuring out. He had to offload this business because he had a fairly hefty commitment with rent and everything. However, he saw the lucky side to it. That is, he sold it to a buyer who was looking for a particular tax loss at the time. And this business that he had solved their problem of having a tax loss. So he was able to offload the business, pretty well straight away. So, there's always an answer to a situation that you're in that, there may be something there. You just have to have a look at what you're doing and where you're at from a completely different perspective, and maybe ask other people what their perspectives are and say, oh, I hadn't thought of that before, and then give that a try. Because the feedback that you get could be the answer to the situation that you're in, and turn your bad luck into good luck. And that's all you really need. Just need a different perspective, a different way of looking at the feedback of the situation, and then to make the most of whatever that situation is. And I think that, overall, looking at the book, The Luck Factor, a lot of the time we have a lot of, it's quite often said, a lot of people say, oh, I got to such and such a level of my career or my business. It was all hard work, but it wasn't luck. And they brag about that as though they're wearing it as a moniker on their top pocket, as though, well, I got there through my own efforts. I didn't have to get lucky. But in fact, as Kenneth Blanchard says in one of his books about excellence, he says is that 80% of luck, 80% of business success is luck. And that really is the case, or 98% of it is luck. Apparently there's a quote by Woody Allen that 80% of success is just showing up. Or as they say that, success is 99% perspiration, 1% inspiration, and, as I say, 3% underarm deodorant. So it could well be in your case that you need to give a little bit more credit to luck, a little bit more credit to chance, opportunities, trust your intuition, work on improving your intuition, and have a relaxed view about luck, because luck really is an unprepared opportunity where you took advantage of that opportunity when it came along. Because we are exposed to lots of opportunities each day, and if we just have a too narrow a focus of just going down only one way to solve our problems, we may miss all of these other answers to our problems that are there in the field of view, or because we're saying, oh, no, I only have to have this way of success. And that is, in reality, that is never the case. It's a case of there are lots of opportunities that are thrown at us every single day. It's a question of, do we take up some of those opportunities and take advantage of those opportunities? Because inertly, we have skills, we have resources, we have the ability to put things together. And when an opportunity comes by that is totally unexpected, this is what luck really is, totally unexpected, you can turn that unexpected opportunity, that unexpected chance, that unexpected meeting, something that you read in a newspaper that was unexpected, or in a book, or you overheard a conversation in a cafe, things like that. That's where the opportunities are. Those opportunities could be, meeting a new partner. It could be $100 million company. It could be a whole range of different things. And then it's a question of, do you have the ears to listen and the willingness to act? And that's where your luck is. Your luck is in those opportunities. Your luck is changing your way of thinking so that you are more accepting of luck. Because once you've got that luck on your side, your whole world, your whole life can change. And you have those opportunities every single day. That's right. Every single day, those opportunities are available to you. It's just a question of, do you have your eyes open? Do you have your ears listening? Are you willing to act upon some of those things? Are you willing to just dig a little bit further and say, oh, that's an interesting thought. Maybe I should just go back and look a little bit closely at this, see what I can find about that particular thought. And who knows, it might solve a problem that you've had before. And that's you've got to allow your intuition to pick up those ideas and work upon them. So give that a go. Look, there is a real ton of wisdom here in this book, The Luck Factor. After all, Dr. Richard Wiseman had spent many years doing lots and lots of scientific tests on lucky people and unlucky people and what their thoughts were and what their results were. And it's worthwhile looking at this closely, because this could be a major turning point in your life if you take it upon with the seriousness that it does deserve, to look at it as a way of making your life better than what it is today. So I encourage you to give that a go. This is David Newton speaking, and we're moving on to a different topic tomorrow, and I'm going to be excited to tell you more. This is David Newton speaking.